Hello, I'm Sophie D'Souza, and this is
Zoe Angle
from Angle Glass, and we are here enjoying her hospitality today because she is going to show us how she produces a really nice shine, nice deep black bloom on her lead, and she gets a better polish than anyone I know. So I thought we'd better learn from the best. So, is this the panel in question?
Yes, indeed. So this is a relay panel, and this is before we polish.
That's before. So I wonder what it looks like after, Zoe.
Funny you should ask. 1 second. This is the...
Wow.
There you go.
You see, that's what it should look like. That's a bit better, isn't it? So stay tuned for how to achieve this. So, this panel, to be honest, already looks quite dark, Zoe. What's going on?
Right, well this panel is actually re-lead, which means it's old glass with new lead, and I puttied it, and the putty has already got some dark pigment already in it. So by cleaning off the putty, it's already started the process of darkening the leads.
So when you say putty, you mean cement? The normal cement?
It's cement which I make up with whiting and plaster, boiled linseed oil, white spirit, pigment like yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pigment, as I say.
So to get it to that depth of colour, what brush have you used when you've been cleaning off your whiting? Because I assume that's what's done the first darkening.
So this is the brush I've been using.
Right, give it a little scrape so we can see how...
It's a nylon...
Can I feel it?
It's a nylon...
Oh, it's not actually hard.
It's a nylon bristle, but it's got some flexibility in it, so it doesn't scratch the leads too much.
Yeah.
But yet it's firm enough to
And is
do
that
its job.
what you take all the whiting off, or is that after you've taken the majority off with a different brush?
This is what I put the putty on with.
That's what you put the putty on with?
Well, this one really. Same brush.
But it lives. You haven't had to throw it away.
I scrape it down.
Wow, and you're able to get it back to that?
Yeah.
Wow. This is big news. I've just thrown them away because I use a coir brush and I can't get them clean.
What happens is what I actually did, which was a bit of a cheat. I try to, with my oyster knife, scrape off as much putty as possible as soon as you finish cementing.
Yeah.
And then, as long as you haven't left it too long, when you go back to your panel and you give it a brush off, all the loose bits go all over your panel. You sweep it off, and then it gets.
That's
back to
after you've done the whiting.
That's once you've left the panel.
You mean
for a while.
it's gone crummy and it's just flaking off?
Yeah, but it hasn't gone too hard that you can't remove it. So that came off quite nicely. So these are the brushes for putting the cement on and getting the cement off. But this has got to a stage now that I can polish the leads.
Yeah.
And people always say, "Oh, how lovely and dark your leads are.
Yeah,
how do you get it
That's
like
right,
that?"
which is why we are here.
So, I mean, it's no great secret. What you've got to use is black stove and great polish. And this one's hot spot, but you can get all different sorts. And basically, you apply a small amount of it. You don't want to put too much on, because then it ends up smearing all over your glass, and you spend half your time trying to get it off the glass. So you put a small amount on your brush, just like a little dollop, as if it's toothpaste. And this brush is a fairly stiff-ish natural bristle brush. And then you just go over it very quickly. You don't need to get all of it. So it's sort of evenly distributed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just brush it on and coat your leads.
Is this the smooth side you're working on, or the bumpy at the moment?
It's bumpy. Well, hang on. These panels, as they're old, have got bumps on both sides. This is the bumpy side. Mainly bumpy side. So the polish will go into the textured glass, unfortunately. But
So I noticed when you first put it on, it was sort of largely in this bottom corner, but it's spreading out the more you're rubbing it.
When I did a quick
Yeah.
once over, I did actually put a bit at the top. If you find you haven't got quite enough at the top, just add a little bit more to your brush. But again, not much.
Yeah.
And that's it. That will do. And then I tend to like brushes that have got no pointy bits at the end, so that I can put both my hands on it and really put quite a lot of pressure on it. If it's got a pointy bit, you've got a tendency to stab into your lead, which is not good. So now I'm happy that it's evenly coated all over my leads. And so the next bit is you just polish. It's like buffing your shoes. And it's a lot of elbow grease, and it basically makes the leads shine.
And will this take it off the glass surface?
Exactly.
Because that's what I always have trouble with. I always wiping it off the glass and then it comes off the lead and then I put a bit more on.
So you see it was all gathered on this textured glass, but it is actually coming off.
It is coming off, yeah.
Now it won't come off everywhere because there's little bits of some putty stuck in the glass, particularly because it's old glass as well.
That's such a pretty texture, I like that.
And I've tried my best to clean this old glass before, but it's not until this stage that you really find the mark.
You never completely get it off. I always find more. Yeah, that's really darkening up nicely now. So that's quite a soft, natural bristle, isn't it?
Yes.
Because often they're quite hard, aren't they, coir brushes?
Yeah, but you need it to be soft. So
yes, you do, don't you?
You've got the beautiful, smooth lead. You don't want it scratching the lead.
No.
Change direction quite frequently as well. Make sure you get all the bits. And that I'd be quite happy with.
Well, that's not taking you long.
No.
And how are you going to take it out of these little nooks and crannies?
So there's two things that you can use. One is a horseshoe nail, which you use to make the panels. I've got one. And then just go over and pick out the little bits.
But those are more cement, aren't they, than the polish?
The polish has highlighted it.
Oh, I see. So all this basically is...
So that's one way of getting rid of bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And I also often do this on a light box so you can really see it well. And another way, I have cotton buds.
Yeah.
Which I use dipped into methylated spirits.
Yeah.
And then rub it over the texture, but not too close to the leads.
Yeah.
And that sometimes just is enough to lift, especially if it's like a general smear of dark colour rather than specks. And that can really help. Or another way is using very fine wire wool.
Yeah.
Just gently over that section. But most glasses you don't need that. You know, you can flick off the odd bits and bobs that are left over. So obviously, once you've done one side,
you do the other.
You do the other, and it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you've cleaned your panel completely with all the specks and whatever, it's also quite nice to have this very soft brush and just give it a wipe over, and that just gets rid of any dust or dirt and gives the final polish.
Lovely. Right, let's have a look. Hold it up. Beautiful. So, there we have it. Zoe Angle, polisher extraordinaire. You know all her secrets now, because if you watch this video and then combine it with the other video, which is the studio tour, There's nothing left to learn, is there?
Learn everything.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Zoe.
You're welcome.
And yes, why don't you see if you can get your panels to look as beautiful as Zoe's? Thank you, and please like, comment, and subscribe.